My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes Allah holds you back from love, not to deprive you, but to protect you. You look at your life and wonder, why am I still alone? Why hasn't anything worked out for me? But what you see as a delay may actually be Allah's greatest mercy. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that Allah shields His servants from what isn't good for them, even if they desire it. Maybe Allah is saving you from heartbreak. Maybe He is shaping your character, healing your wounds, or preparing your soul for someone who matches the goodness He wants for you. And sometimes Allah keeps you single because He wants you to discover a love far greater than any human could give, the love of the one who never leaves. Your waiting is not wasted. It is written. It is intentional. It is full of wisdom. Allah protects you from what your heart cannot see. When Allah delays a relationship, it is never without purpose. Sometimes your heart cries for something that would have destroyed your peace, your self-worth, or your connection with Allah, but you cannot see it. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, shields you from what you think you want because He knows what it would do to your soul. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that Allah protects a believer from harm even when the believer doesn't understand the reason. So when Allah blocks a person from entering your life, it is not rejection, it is divine protection. There are people who look perfect from a distance but carry storms you are not meant to endure. Their hearts, their intentions, their habits, or their future paths may not align with yours. Allah removes them before they ever reach you, because He knows that one wrong person can delay your destiny, weaken your worship, or damage your emotional well-being in ways you can't imagine. What feels like loneliness to you is Allah saving you from a heartbreak you could not have survived. Sometimes Allah protects you by showing you someone's true colors early through distance, silence, confusion, or sudden changes. You take it personally, but Allah is telling you this is not your person. The pain you feel now is far lighter than the pain He is rescuing you from later. Trust His signs even when they hurt. Allah's no is often more merciful than His yes. Allah also protects you from relationships that would have pulled you away from your purpose. Not everyone you desire is meant to walk with you into the future. Allah has written, some people would distract you, drain you, or mislead you. Others would make you compromise parts of your faith just to keep them. So Allah removes them not because you are unworthy of love, but because your soul is too precious to be given to the wrong hands. Sometimes Allah protects you by delaying marriage until your heart is healed enough to receive love in a healthy way. If you entered a relationship while carrying unhealed wounds, insecurities, or trauma, you might project pain onto an innocent heart. Allah delays love to strengthen you, to soften you, to purify you, so that when you finally meet the right person, you can love them without harming them. The delay is not punishment, it's preparation for a love that lasts. Allah also protects you from people who would take advantage of your kindness. You have a soft heart, a gentle soul, and you love deeply. Not everyone deserves that. Some would misuse it, some would manipulate it, and some would break it without remorse. So when Allah keeps you hidden, alone, or distant, it's His way of saying, your heart is valuable and I am guarding it. Sometimes the protection comes through confusion. When someone enters your life but nothing feels stable, they come close then disappear. They talk but never commit. They show interest but never effort. You wonder why things don't progress. But Allah is protecting you from getting attached to someone who was never written for you. Temporary people are kept temporary by divine command. Allah also protects you from timing that would harm you. If you married too early, you might not have been emotionally mature enough. If you married while struggling spiritually, you might have built your future on unstable foundations. If you married during a chaotic period of your life, the relationship might have collapsed under pressure. So Allah delays marriage until the time you are ready, even if you think you already are. Sometimes protection looks like loneliness, but it's really Allah clearing the path. You think you're alone because you're unwanted, but Allah is actually removing distractions, obstacles, and wrong people to prepare your heart for someone better. The emptiness you feel is not a void, it is space being created for what's written. Allah protects you from people whose destiny does not match yours. You could fall in love with someone who is not meant to walk the same spiritual path, raise a family with the same values, or build a life with the same purpose. Mismatched souls create long-term pain. So Allah, out of mercy, separates you from them, even if your heart resists at first. Sometimes Allah protects you from your own desires. You may desperately want someone, thinking they will complete your life, but Allah sees their private character, their hidden struggles, their unseen flaws. You see the surface, Allah sees the soul. What you call rejection is actually Allah whispering, my servant, trust me, this is not for you. Allah also protects you by rewriting your plans. You had expectations, dreams and timelines, but Allah's timing is superior to your planning. If He allowed you to marry too soon, you might have settled for less, accepted someone harmful, or limited your future growth. His delay is a form of rearranging your destiny so that everything aligns at the perfect moment. Sometimes Allah protects you because the person you want is not ready yet. They may still be healing, learning, or growing. If you met them too early, the relationship would collapse because one heart was prepared and the other was not. So Allah waits until both souls are synchronized, until the story can unfold beautifully. Allah protects you by teaching you self-worth before marriage. If you enter the relationship without knowing your value, you might accept disrespect, tolerate neglect, or remain where you are not appreciated. Allah delays love to teach you how to stand, how to respect yourself, how to build confidence, so that when you finally meet your partner, you approach the relationship with dignity. Sometimes protection comes through unanswered du'as. You begged Allah to make someone yours, but He didn't. Not because He ignored you, but because He loved you too much to give you the wrong person. The dua wasn't denied, it was redirected to something better. What you wanted wasn't aligned with what you needed. Allah protects you by removing you from situations you don't have the strength to walk away from. You think you're being abandoned, but He is pulling you out of a fire you didn't even realize you were in. When people leave suddenly, when connections break unexpectedly, that is Allah intervening in ways you didn't pray for but still needed. Allah even protects you through disappointment. Every failed talking stage, every broken proposal, every silent ending is a mercy. You didn't lose anything, you were saved. Heartbreak often looks like destruction, but spiritually it is construction. It clears illusions, sharpens faith, and points you back to Allah. Sometimes Allah protects you from a marriage that would destroy your peace. No companionship is worth losing yourself or losing Allah. If someone was not written to honor your heart, your deen, and your future, Allah removes them even if you were ready to stay. That removal hurts, but it heals later. Allah protects you by giving you time to grow into the person your future spouse needs. Perhaps your character needed refinement, your patience needed strengthening, or your faith needed deepening. Allah delays marriage so you can become a source of tranquility rather than a source of struggle. And finally, Allah protects you because He loves you. He sees your tears, your loneliness, your late night du'as. He knows the kind of love your heart is searching for. And He knows exactly when to send it. What is written for you cannot miss you. And what misses you was never yours to begin with. Your waiting is not a punishment, it is protection, preparation, and divine love in its purest form. Your season of growth must come before your season of love. Your heart cannot receive the right person until it becomes the right home for them. Allah sometimes places you in a season of solitude, reflection, and inner work because He knows that love without growth becomes a burden instead of a blessing. Before Allah sends you a spouse who is calm, mature, faithful, and sincere, He prepares you to match that level. You cannot skip this season. Growth is not punishment, it's protection for the love that will come later. Many people want marriage, but they are not ready for what marriage demands. It requires patience when you feel frustrated, compassion when you feel tired, maturity when you feel emotional, and faith when you feel lost. If Allah gave you love before preparing you, that love could break you. So He strengthens your heart now so you can handle the blessings later. Every delay is building your emotional and spiritual muscles. Your season of growth teaches you how to love without losing yourself. Many enter relationships from a place of emptiness, hoping someone else will fill the void. But Allah wants you to enter marriage whole, not wounded. He wants you to love from abundance, not desperation. He heals your heart in solitude so that when you meet your partner, you don't bleed your past all over your future. Healing is part of preparation. Growth teaches you boundaries, knowing when to walk away, when to stay, and when to protect your peace. If you don't develop these before marriage, the relationship may drain you. Allah teaches you these lessons in seasons of loneliness, disappointment, and self-reflection. Every person who left helped you build a boundary. Every heartbreak taught you restraint. Every silence taught you patience. Your season of growth exposes your weaknesses so you can transform them. Maybe your temper needs softening. Maybe your insecurities need healing. Maybe your impatience needs slowing. Marriage magnifies what's inside you, both light and darkness. So Allah perfects your inner character first. He wants your future spouse to meet a healed, humbled, and grounded version of you, not the one still fighting old battles. Growth also teaches you independence, not emotional coldness, but emotional stability. Allah wants you to depend on Him first, so you don't enter marriage relying on a human to fill His place. When you learn to stand alone with Allah, you stop clinging to people out of fear. You enter love with balance, not neediness. That balance is the foundation of a healthy marriage. Your season of growth teaches you patience, the kind that sustains love during difficult days. Anyone can love during good times. It takes real maturity to love during storms. Allah builds this patience in your single years by giving you tests that stretch you, slow you, and humble you. Every test is preparing you to one day be someone's comfort instead of someone's chaos. Growth deepens your relationship with Allah, and that relationship becomes the compass for marriage. When you learn to turn to Allah before anyone else, you will enter marriage with clarity, not confusion. You'll know when to speak, when to stay silent, when to forgive, and when to seek help. A heart trained by Allah loves with wisdom, not impulse. Sometimes Allah delays your season of love because your future spouse is still growing too. You may be ready, but they are not. Their heart may still be healing, their faith still strengthening, their character still developing. Allah aligns your timelines perfectly, not too early, not too late, so that when you finally meet, both hearts recognize each other effortlessly. Growth teaches you the difference between desire and destiny. Not everyone you want is good for your soul. Allah uses time to show you what your heart truly needs instead of what it temporarily craves. With growth comes clarity. You stop choosing people out of loneliness and start choosing them with wisdom. And wisdom is what protects love from becoming a mistake. Your season of growth teaches you emotional intelligence, understanding your feelings instead of being controlled by them. You learn how to communicate with kindness, express your needs without anger, and listen without ego. These skills are not learnt in marriage, they are learnt before marriage. Allah trains you through friendships, trials, and solitude so that you enter marriage with emotional maturity. Growth teaches you gratitude for yourself, for your journey, and eventually for your partner. When Allah makes you wait, you appreciate the blessing more deeply when it arrives. You no longer take love for granted. You see it as a gift from Allah, not something you are entitled to. Gratitude makes relationships gentle, loving, and long-lasting. Your season of growth clarifies your values. You learn what matters: character over looks, peace over excitement, deen over desire. Without this clarity, you might have chosen quickly,